morning, everybody. Thanks for stopping by the Today in AZ After Show. Listen, the irony's not lost on me. I know a lot of you are watching the impeachment inquiry, which is live right now on a dueling stream here at 12 News, and we're actually talking about something tangentially related today. We want to know how you guys handle politics at your dinner table. We're going to talk about that in just a minute, but we have some more pressing local concerns to discuss. Yeah. First time in a long time, we could be seeing some precipitation soon.
That's right. We locked in 53 dry days in a row, and we are going to reset that today. Press the button, like the easy button, right?
There you go. Bring it on.
So hour by hour, this is how we think it's going to shake out here. Give it until lunchtime, and then we could start seeing some raindrops dripping from those clouds. And then those chances get higher and higher with every passing hour. So
higher and higher.
Nice.
Has a soundtrack with this graphic.
You know that song?
I didn't know I put that in there. Right. So windshield wipers likely going to be flicked on as you're driving home later on this evening, and then as you're tucking yourself away for the night, the rain continues, and thunderstorms could also be thrown into the mix. They could be super soaking storms at times, and that could lead to flash flooding. More than 5 million Arizonans are under this risk for flash flooding for the next 48 to 72 hours, just kind of depending on where your neighborhood lies. And then snow levels start to crash down, especially Wednesday night into Thursday. So we are already kind of sounding the alarms with these winter weather advisories and winter storm watches. Those will likely get upgraded to warnings as we get closer. How much rainfall? There are some spots to the north and east of Phoenix that could pick up 3 to 4 inches of rain.
Oh my gosh.
The valley, there's quite a few models' take on how it will shake out, but anywhere I'd say from 3/4 of an inch to 1 1/3 inches is definitely fair game for the valley. But look at Sedona and Payson, Safford all sticking out with more than 2 inches. Of course, Prescott's going to be getting some love too. Even Page coming in at more than 1/2 inch. Then the snowflakes start swirling in the higher terrain, and man, Snowball's going to get hooked up just in time for opening day on Friday.
Heck yeah,
exciting.
Hook us up.
Yeah, 20 to 22 inches for our ski resorts. Alpine, 11 to 17. So you can see some of these spots like Forest Lakes picking up more than 1 foot of snow by the time we send this storm system back into the east. North Rim 7 to 11, Jacob Lake and Flagstaff 4 to 8 inches, even a few inches possible at the Grand Canyon and Heber. So the snow levels, again, going to be starting off at about 10,000 feet today, tomorrow falling to about 8,000 feet, and then overnight tomorrow night into Thursday morning as low as 6,000 feet. Not just rain and snow, but we're talking the threats in addition to flash flooding, lightning, strong winds, maybe even blowing dust at the onset, small hail, and you might even notice some fog settling in, reducing your visibilities, especially on Thursday and Friday. So be ready for all of it.
Get that umbrella out, get the dust off the thing, and get ready to use it tomorrow. Keep it right here on Today in AZ, online and on air. We're going to have the latest on this storm as it develops and impacts you in the morning tomorrow. In the meantime, let's dive into the topic we were going to talk about today. How do you handle political discussions at the Thanksgiving table? So during the show this morning, we showed you a brand new version of Uno called Uno Nonpartisan, which apparently gets rid of the politically charged colors red and blue. And if someone brings up politics during the game, you could drop a veto card that skips that person's next turn. I think that they're just trying to find a clever way to broach some uncomfortable conversations with people you don't typically spend a ton of time with. And with a couple glasses of wine or your dark liquor of choice, all of a sudden things can go off the rails in a hurry.
I like the tips, though, that our hostage negotiator, or former
Isabella Maldonado. Yeah, she's fantastic.
Like, that's pretty hardcore. But yeah, I like the, don't tell people to calm down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people really don't like when you say that. Those
they do the opposite.
Tips. I know, they do the opposite.
Or say that you're crazy.
Yeah,
people hate that too.
Change the subject. We have a problem with, the family finger pointer. You know, the person who, when you start arguing and it's a debate and things are going great, then all of a sudden they bring out the finger pointer thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and nobody likes that. So I highly discourage the finger pointer.
Can I just say that all that food looks delicious right now?
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough right now.
We're ready.
The macaroni and the mashed potatoes. Oh, and there's your pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
So Kylie, one of the top fans of the show, has a really insightful comment that she just put down in the comment section. If this is your first time on the Today in AZ After Show, we invite you to do that. We try to go through all the comments throughout the show, sound off your chance to sort of converse with us and share your thoughts about the topic we're discussing. Kylie says, why does this have to be a touchy subject? The fact that politics should not be discussed just closes our minds off to the opinions of others who may inform you of something you weren't aware of or could support you thinking differently on a given subject. Kylie, I like that. And it's kind of like a dating rule, too. And we talk about dating a lot on this show, where you're not supposed to discuss politics and religion in the first date.
Right.
I find, to me, that that's a great filter. I love talking about politics and religion on a first date because it weeds out people that you may not have known you did not have a lot in common with until much later down the road. It's all fun and games. You want to talk about work or talk about your families, your hobbies and interests. That's all fun stuff. But like, really, if you want to get to know somebody and you want a real relationship with them, you kind of have to cross those big T's and dot those big I's. You got to get them out of the way early. I like bringing it up right away. If we do have common ground, great, and we can go off in that direction. If we don't, we can decide if the differences between us are too great to pursue anything.
Right. No, that's true. Actually, that did happen. One time I brought it up early on the first date, and it turns out we had totally two different views, so there wasn't a second date.
There you go. Problem solved.
Yeah.
And you saved them a couple bucks in the process.
Can't it just be a healthy debate without people getting
yeah, that's true.
That's
upset?
the problem, is people take it a couple of notches too high, or they don't have sound, facts to go with it. They're just blowing off steam about something they're passionate about instead of, maybe really thoughtful conversation.
That's always my biggest problem with it, are people that are armed with opinions but not with facts or without research to back it up. If you haven't Googled a particular topic, there's no shame in just admitting that you don't know enough about it to have a conversation. I actually find that really insightful when somebody is like, I actually don't know. Like, that's a mark of intelligence, is admitting you don't know something. Everyone has a platform now via social media, and especially at the dinner table when you literally have a captive audience. But I think it's totally fine to just admit, you know what, that's not my thing.
That is true, though. We've had a heated argument in our household one time, and it was between my uncle and my cousin, and like they didn't agree on something political. And they went at it for a good few minutes, and then it was finally like, okay, that's cool. Like, you guys are never going to agree on this, so let's just drop it past the freaking
When
pie.
you're just going round and round, exactly.
Yeah. So it's hard, and then it makes it uncomfortable for everybody else at the table, because they don't. Some people don't want to get involved because they don't want to take sides, or so it's hard.
I do like having something to chew on. Literally and figuratively, it helps to stuff your face instead of talking to people. But I like it when someone does have a little nugget, even if they do have a conflicting viewpoint, that allows me to think about a subject in a different light. And those I think those discussions are healthy. And I don't think in the social media age, the discussions are quite as healthy as they once were, because people are willing to say things online behind the guise of a fake avatar or a fake username that they wouldn't really say to your face.
Absolutely.
And that's true not just in political discussions, but with just being rude to people, I think. People are just naturally rude when they can hide behind the anonymity that the internet offers them. At the dinner table, you don't have that. You kind of have to own up to what you're saying. So I think people are a little more cautious, but that doesn't mean that you don't get into it with your relatives. Can you guys think of an argument that you've had, political or otherwise, at a Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner that made you say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't hang out with these people anymore?
Well, I've had some situations where people say things where maybe they're just, I like to think, just not aware about things that might be racially or culturally insensitive.
That's fair. And if they're not aware, maybe it's hard to hold it against them.
Generally that they're not aware. I prefer, and so then it's like, well, can we help educate you, or or maybe raise that awareness somehow? You try that gently.
At first, at least.
And then it can sometimes go, as you know, one of two ways. It can go this way or that way, and then eventually I'm like, okay, well, I'm taking my wine elsewhere.
See you later.
Go sit at the children's table, where the conversation is always civilized.
Yes. It's often about Elsa.
Yes.
How great Frozen 2 is going to be.
And how good the mac and cheese is.
Yes.
I was actually having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day about racially insensitive remarks, and we were both kind of like just admitting to ourselves that we were raised differently.
Yeah.
Like I grew up in a place where I was not aware of 90% of the injustices and issues that are like current in 2019. And part of that is because it is 2019 and it's not 1999 anymore. We've changed a lot in 20 years. But that said, it's also part of the community and the upbringing. If you don't live a life where you're ever around people of color, it's an entirely different conversation, And I went to a school that I think was 95% white. Like, it's just not an issue that I faced on a day-to-day basis. But now that I'm an adult and I've lived in big cities and I know people from other places, you start to open your mind a little bit to those worldviews. And that is actually kind of what can happen at these Thanksgiving dinners, is you bring people in who, one, you don't know particularly well, a lot of extended family or friends you haven't seen in a year or so, and they're coming from all walks of life in literally all places in the country, and you just smash them at one table. It's kind of like a reality show. show almost.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Somebody posted a meme the other day, like, why did they put these two holidays so close together? So you don't see your family all year,
you don't get a
and then all of a
breather.
sudden you see them Thanksgiving and Christmas back to back, and they're like, no.
I know, right?
That's why I do the Friendsgiving thing.
Yeah, that's always like
Back to Boise, 8th year in a row, man. I don't see the family on Thanksgiving. I'll see them around Christmas time. Let us know what you think, guys. If you guys have some Thanksgiving plans you'd like to share or want to broach the topic of how you handle tough conversations with your relatives, hop in the comments and say hi. Hello to Georgios watching in Greece this morning.
I love Greece.
Kathy says good morning as well. Nate wants to talk about the snow.
He said,
just wants
apparently
to stick
talk
to
about
weather.
snow at the table.
Yeah, that's easier.
Speaking back to our weather, so should we turn off our sprinkler systems?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Whoops,
Yes,
you should have done that already.
Definitely put.
Okay.
I wouldn't even say to hit the rain delay because this is going to be the stretch of 72 hours. So I would definitely switch that to
Off. Okay, for
Yeah.
the next few days. And definitely don't wash your vehicle. Don't wash your car.
I just got my windows washed last weekend.
Oh, no.
Mother Nature's about to handle it
this
again.
time.
I got to enjoy him for a little bit. I know I was going to go this weekend, and then because my car needs it desperately. I can hardly see out with all the bugs. But I'm like, no, just one more day.
You can vacuum the inside.
Yeah,
you can
that's-
wash the
that makes it feel
outside.
cleaner.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's take a breather from this discussion for a second and get to our ICYMI. Oh, we don't have it. In case
got
you missed
fresh
today in AZ,
squeezed
there was
juice.
nothing worth watching. I teased. Fresh squeezed juice this morning. Who's got it?
New this morning, can't get enough of The Real Housewives. Well, creator Andy Cohen just announced a new brand of the franchise. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City could
Watch
be
out.
launching as soon as next year. The Real Housewives franchise, of course, was first started back in 2006 with the OGs.
I'm
What was
still
that,
waiting
Atlanta,
for
the OGs?
No, I think it was Orange County was
Beverly
first.
Hills,
Yeah,
right?
Orange County.
Yeah,
One
right.
of those two. One of the California franchises.
I'm waiting for Scottsdale. We need
Oh my gosh, that would be really good.
Housewives.
They tried that though. There was a Baseball Wives TV show, so they did Baseball Wives in Scottsdale, and it didn't last for some reason. But the other ones lasted in the other cities,
Yeah.
but not in Scottsdale for some reason.
Maybe
so
there wasn't enough wig pulling.
drama or
in
something.
Scottsdale.
I was watching a show yesterday, and they were talking about this, and they were saying that they would love to see one in Nashville.
Yeah,
That's
that's
to see all
on my
that
wish list of
drama.
places to go. Yeah, apparently they have a lot of
What
drama
kind of
there.
drama do they have out in SLC? Like, that's going to be
Yeah.
a distinctly different show, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because
curious,
if it
though.
really is, like, true to the location, there's not going to be much wine drinking and wig pulling, one would imagine.
What would they? Yeah.
I imagine they're focusing on LDS women, right? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not going to watch. Just you'll have to let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the suspense is killing me.
Valerie, back to
good.
the politics thing for a second. Says they don't discuss politics in her home. We know we have different views.
Yeah.
And we choose not to cause tension or argue about it.
I think that's so good. I think we've gotten to a point with like certain couples, friends, or certain people that were like, "Oop, well, that was a touchy subject. We're
Yeah.
just not going to bring it up
Just
again."
leave it alone.
They just maybe leave it.
You know what's annoying, though, is when you have that sort of implied trust that, okay, we're not going to cross line
Yeah.
X, and then the other party does it, and you're kind of like,
We agreed upon this.
I thought that we weren't going to do this.
It's just better to keep it that way. Like, I have a friend that we have totally two different political views, but we never bring it up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't bring it up with her. She doesn't bring it up with me, but I see
Yes.
all her posts and everything that she believes in, but I just leave it alone. And when we're together, we're just fine.
Right.
Like, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there are certain lines I feel like that I won't cross with friends. Like, I don't know where that threshold lies, though, but like, you have to be similar enough to me philosophically for me to like want to build a relationship with you. But like, it's funny that like, everyone has people that are close to them who they don't agree with politically or religiously. And it's like, why do we make it such a sticking point? Like, why is it a prerequisite that we have to be similar in order to be friends with one another? Like, when did that really become an issue? And I try to trace it back, and I try to blame it on social media because people's opinions are just in our faces all the time now. And maybe you could avoid those conversations a lot easier back when you were playing phone tag and you weren't exposed to people's
social
lives in
media.
a feed every single day. But like, I don't know. It's just this ambiguous, like, philosophical thing. Like, where's the line? Where's the line in my head about, like, what thing would you have to believe in or adhere to for me not to want to be a part of your life? And I'm not sure it's black and white, and I'm sure it's different from person to person, too. That's
I like
something
a
to chew
friendly
on.
debate. I think it's always fun.
If you can keep it friendly.
If you can keep it friendly.
Yeah, some people don't do that.
Well, some people go below the belt, and then you just
Yeah.
have to say, well, no.
And yeah, who's to say it has to, we're talking strictly politics. I mean, I can remember plenty of turkey days where my dad really does fit the crazy Uncle Larry thing. Ryan kept using crazy Uncle Larry
Yes.
as the the prototype for this person, and my dad has been called that before. He means well. He's the comedian in the family, and so he will bring up things from the past all the time about his sisters, and they just want to sink in their chair.
Yes.
So it's not just politics; it could be other things that you wish, that
people just needling you in general.
Yes, it's like can we just talk about something nice and friendly, or don't bring up things from the past, or and sometimes it does, can get a little bit heated. Generally, it's just funny and bringing up old stories, but whether it's something kind of heated or whether you just don't want it brought up,
Sometimes it's like a sensitive point.
Yeah.
Some people just, especially when you're getting with families and blended families and in-laws and all the things that come with that, there are just some things that people are going to say that will definitely touch a nerve. And it's like, do you just turn on your heel and walk away, or do you respond? And then, of course, after a couple glasses of wine, it is not my hair. There's no way.
Whose microphone?
Hair is not even that
Who's
long.
responsible?
I don't think mine.
So
Only when I slap
sorry.
it.
They keep telling me it's my hair. I'm like, I've literally
that
the
one
shortest
time it
hair.
was.
I know, but it's in the center. Look, hello, nothing.
I love this one.
My thing is, what happens? Okay, so I've seen a lot about what about the in-laws, like where you don't go to the other in-laws' house because you don't care for them.
So that's a whole other problem, right? It's like
Yeah.
people that actually have like 2 Thanksgivings that they should be at theoretically. How do you choose one?
I know.
I don't know.
Turns.
Yeah, do you though? Like,
Yeah, a lot of people take turns. Like we
That's
get,
true.
we get this year, you
That's
get
so
next
civil.
year, you
Who-
get
who-
this
who
Christmas, you get
negotiates
that
this?
Christmas.
That's too easy.
Yeah,
that makes too much
families.
sense.
'Cause I think after you've had a few joint gatherings that like blew up, you realize
Just keep them separate. Yeah.
You want to read Priscilla's
for
comment?
safety's sake.
What did she say? My husband family loves to pick on each other with politics, and thankfully they know how to take a joke and don't take things too serious, but we are loud Latinos. So from the outside, it definitely sounds like a heated argument.
I just want to hear you say
Oh my
Latinos
gosh,
because I like the way you say it.
true. So I have we have family friends that we spend a lot of holidays
Yeah.
together, and they're Indian, and they love to argue really, really loud, and they have they fight super loud. But then when we brought some friends who were just non-Indian, they were like, "Oh my God, why are they always
Right.
fighting?" And I'm like, "No, that's cultural. We're
That's just how they talk.
And 2 seconds later, they're all like hugging together
Yeah.
and laughing. And I'm like, no, we just get like loud and crazy and shout, but we're not ever mad, and nobody
Right.
ever holds a grudge. You just like it's like cultural. You just move on to the next thing.
I had some neighbors like that in Tampa, and it scared the hell out of me for like the first couple months I was there because it was like these people are having loud, like shouting matches like every day. I'm like worried that someone's going to come crashing through the
Yeah,
window
we're
and that
fine.
this woman's going to go off the side of the balcony and I'm going to be responsible because I never called the police on them. But then I started to realize that no, this is just the
That's
way they
just how
are.
they
Like one
communicate.
second it's laughing and the next they're
Totally.
screaming at each
Yeah.
other, and then it's like back
Totally.
to being cordial again. It's very
Well,
weird.
my household on my dad's side, there's so many of us. You have to shout in order to get
Right.
heard.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah.
Loud man wins.
Everybody's talking,
animated.
like,
Yeah,
and the kids are yelling, and it's just like, you have to be a
There's
little
so
bit
many of
louder.
us. It's like, sorry, we're just loud for the sake of being loud sometimes.
Yeah.
We'll leave it here with Peggy's comment. She says, it's Thanksgiving. Why not talk about everything you're grateful for? How's that for a novel idea? That's a good
That's
place to leave
the
it.
mic.
We're thankful for all of you people who choose to spend a little bit of your morning with us on the Facebook app or on your computer at home. We appreciate you very much. We'll do this again tomorrow morning, 7:30 for the after show. New set of topics, whole bunch of more new bad jokes, and we'll talk about the weather an awful lot, I imagine. It's going to get wet and wild out there tonight, so stay safe, people. Pack your umbrellas and keep it right here on 12 News and 12news.com for the very latest.
And if you missed the answer to the juicy question in the morning, it was an earring.
Earrings.
Earring.
Men wear
Men
earrings.
over 30 should
And
not wear an
Bradley.
earring.